What are you rooting into? This is what this new moon is asking you. What are you rooting into? Are you rooted? And if not, where do you have to be more diligent? Where do you have to be more diligent when it comes to choosing your environment, your playground, your day-to-day? I think this is a theme that we are taking through the week, really. What is hindering you in the here and now to move forward? The question is, though, the things in the past, the things that we've been conditioned with, that we've learned to believe to be true, understanding that they may not necessarily be true for us. They may be true for other people, but maybe they are not true for us in terms of where we are going or where we want to go. And how can you integrate that past in a way that you can build up on, not that it hinders you and holds you back? Good morning, my lovelies. Welcome back to another round of weekly astrology. This week we're talking about the 2nd to the 8th of September, which is starting tomorrow, if you're watching it today on Sunday. Now, wow, we've been going through quite a bit, haven't we? I would not exclude myself here. I mean, August was rough and tough, but also I really could feel how it made me stronger. I digress. We wanted to talk about the week of the 2nd to the 8th of September. So let's dive into that week now. It's still intense, right? We are in eclipse season. What can I say? It's intense, and we are working towards the first eclipse or the first eclipse of this eclipse round, which is going to be the lunar eclipse in Pisces, full moon eclipse. It is an out of sign eclipse. We need to remember that, right? So it doesn't mean that it's not strong, but there are a lot of moving parts in an out of sign eclipse, but we will talk about that in a separate video. Now, this week, there are a lot of squares this week. We have the new moon in Virgo, we have Pluto in Capricorn. There's also a separate video. There's a separate video for the new moon. A lot of separate videos for what's happening in this week, but I'm trying to summarize it here for you so you get an understanding of the energy of the week, which again is intense. I think there is no word that I have used more than the word intense this week, this summer. This was an intense summer. My loves, this one is a very intense summer for me too. I don't want to start crying now. I don't know. My God, I'm tearing up. But yeah, let's start with the 2nd. New moon in Virgo. Mainly what we are talking about here is rooting into. What are you rooting into? This is what this new moon is asking you. What are you rooting into? Are you rooted? And if not, where do you have to be more diligent? Where do you have to be more diligent when it comes to choosing your environment, your playground, your day-to-day? This is also a moon that always takes us back to how healthy are we? Mentally, physically, emotionally. I'm not just talking about broken bones here. I'm talking about all the parts, all the energetic layers that we are made of. How healthy are you? And again, what do you need to shift and change in your day-to-day, but also in your environment? This is a Mercury-ruled sign, and Mercury just got out of retrograde. It is really asking you to check all those layers. Be more diligent. Maybe you have to go into the nitty-gritty here. That's what Virgo is doing best. It's not about going down the rabbit hole, but it's more like honing in on something. It's not like you don't have to go into the deep dark layers, but hone in, take another look, dissect things. You have like I don't know why I'm thinking of a radio right now. The radio is not working. So you take the radio apart and see what needs to be fixed within. So you don't have to go into deep dark layers, but you have to take things apart to understand the workings, your inner workings. And with that, I again ask you to watch the video that I did about this moon. Now, on the same day, we have Mercury trine Chiron, and this is a trine that it's been on and off. We've experienced this trine on and off for the most of the summer, most of August, I should say. Specifically, you know, before the retrograde started, and then within the retrograde, and now again, you know, Mercury direct stationing right around this trine, again honing in on this subject, the subject of inner child healing, right? Maybe you've got to talk about it with someone. Maybe you have to talk about it with a professional, and maybe this retrograde made you realize that. You know, maybe you can't do it on your own. Maybe you need some help, someone that helps you reflect on things in a different way. Maybe you have like a way of thinking about certain things in your life that isn't really productive, not helpful. It doesn't help you move forward. Maybe you need someone else that is not your friends necessarily, not your mother, not your father. Maybe it needs to be someone that is more detached from your life, that isn't, you know, that doesn't know you personally, because they can give you another view, another perspective. And maybe you need that other perspective to understand, to rewire things within you. So Mercury, the communication, right, the think, but also the thinking mind. So that's why I'm thinking maybe, you know, if there is something that you've been carrying with you for a lifetime, and it's in a way it always hindered you from growing, moving forward, having fulfilling relationships, maybe it is time to have a conversation again. Not necessarily with your friends, but with someone that is less involved in your life, or not involved in your life. Then on the 3rd, this is Tuesday, we have Venus conjunct the South Node opposing the North Node. Well, I love like that I can just continue the theme here. Venus conjunct the South Node. This is Venus, what you love, what you want in life, your desires, your pleasures, connecting to the past, opposing the future, meaning what you're working towards. What in your past is still too comfortable to let it go, even though you know it might hinder you moving forward. It's beautiful, this topic. It's kind of like a theme, and I think this is a theme that we are taking through the week, really. What is hindering you in the here and now to move forward? Because it is comfortable, but it is not really helping you grow. It's like regurgitating, you know, over and over again. And, you know, there's the saying, sometimes it's very comfortable to sit in your own, you know. But again, also, I don't just want to say everything in the past is bad. Of course, that is not true. But the question is, though, the things in the past, the things that we've been conditioned with, that we've learned to believe to be true, understanding that they may not necessarily be true for us. They may be true for other people, but maybe they are not true for us in terms of where we are going or where we want to go. And how can you integrate that past in a way that you can build up on, not that it hinders you and holds you back? Do you understand what I mean? It's more about integrating that South Node experience, that South Node energy, because the South Node is not bad. It's not like something that we need to leave behind. It's like we need to integrate it in a way that it then serves us to move forward. And that's for you to figure out, right, in your life. Then on the same day, we have Mars squaring Neptune. Again, like this is a theme here. Mars squaring Neptune. Mars is still in Gemini, moving into Cancer shortly. Cancer, not Mars' favorite, right? Like we can talk about this later. But in Gemini, Mars is very fast. It's very action-oriented. It's like, I want to do things. Let me do things. Let me go. Let me do this and that. And, you know, but also it has like these two sides. It's like, I want this, but I also want that. And how can I have my cake and eat it too? And there is a little bit of contradiction here with Mars. just Mars in itself in Gemini. And then Mars squaring that Neptune in elusive Pisces, it makes things even more confusing. Mars is very confused with this square, because Mars says like, okay, let's just go, let's just do things, let's just try this and then try that to get where I want to go. But with that square, you feel kind of lost, right? The feeling of I'm lost. Again, the theme of this week is like, what do we need to work on internally to become more clear and to help us to move forward in life? So this square is in a way helpful, because it makes you feel so lost that maybe now you're ready to get some help. And I'm not saying every single person on this planet is lost right now. I'm not saying that. Also, you have to look where all of this falls in your chart, right? I'm just talking about the overall energy of the week. There is this feeling of like, okay, there's something I might need to work on. For some people, it might be a bigger thing. For others, it might be just a small little thing, right? So it doesn't always have to be a big problem for every single person when we talk about this energy. But there's always something, because we all of us, we learn and grow. No matter the age, no matter, where we live and how we live, we all are constantly growing and evolving. And that is basically what the astrology shows us, right? Again, it's a mirror. Then for the next week, Pluto is sextiling Neptune. And I love this on a, not so much necessarily on a personal level, but generational, because these obviously are two generational planets, and they meet in a very suitable, shall we say, aspect, a sextile, very productive. And you think like Neptune productive? How is Neptune productive? Well, when it is in a sextile with Pluto in Capricorn, restructuring. There's like, maybe there's something that can help you restructure so you can move forwards and, get closer to living your quote unquote dream life, right? And maybe in a way we do that on a societal level, restructuring society. And we've been doing this, of course, we've always been doing this. This is an ongoing process, like since the beginning of time. But, I think now is a really, really, really productive time. And I mean, you can already see what's going on out there in the world. Even though this is not a channel where I talk about what's going on out there in the world, I focus more on the individual. But sometimes we got to talk about it because we all affect each other. So I think this can be a productive time when it comes to restructuring. There is a separate Pluto video that you should definitely watch to see what this last stint of Pluto in Capricorn has in store for you, for your sign. 29 degrees, critical degree. Critical as in, you got to do, it's just like, it's time to do something different. It's time to do something different. What have you learned in the past 28 degrees of Capricorn with Pluto there? What has Pluto taught you here? And have you shifted, changed, rearranged, so you can now move forward as an evolved, or let's say more evolved, more grown-up being? Then on the 5th, you can see this week is full. This is a bit of a longer video, I guess. We're not done yet. On the 5th, we have Mars move into Cancer, and I already told you that Mars in Cancer is not the happiest fella. Mars in Cancer is in fall, which means it is the opposite sign of its exaltation, right? Mars is exalted in Capricorn, opposite sign. Now, in Cancer, Mars feels emotionally drained. Again, we are keeping the theme of the week here. Like, can you see? We're just keeping the theme. We are drained. There are mood swings. We are irritable. It's this, oh God, what am I going through right now? What is this? What do I need to change? It's like, it's not that Mars in Cancer is bad, right? There is no bad placement. There is no bad placement. I want to say this again. There is no bad placement for any planet. There is nothing bad. There's just lessons and learnings. And in certain signs, certain energies express in certain ways, so we can learn and grow and evolve, right? That's the whole point. So Mars will be here for, I think, about six-ish weeks. Then on the 7th, which is Saturday, we have Mercury squaring Uranus. How fun! What is this? This could be news that are, I don't know, news that are not so favorable, that you don't really want to get. But again, what are you learning? What are you learning from those news? What are those news teaching you for your life, for your future, for moving forward? Then on the 8th, Sunday, the Sun opposing Saturn. Now this is a biggie, I think. Every year when the Sun opposes Saturn, it's a big one. And we are on the Pisces-Virgo axis still, right? Because obviously Saturn's in Pisces, Sun's in Virgo right now. There's healing, right? It's the healing axis. I call it the healing axis. There's healing in every sign, right? We can find healing in every sign, but this particularly pertains to our health, right? Mental, physical, spiritual, emotional health. So there is the Sun wanting to push against the boundaries given, right? The Sun is our guiding light, and the Sun is like, oh, I want to go beyond. I want to see beyond. And Saturn is like, are you ready? Are you ready to be your next version self? Are you ready? And you might, uncover some obstacles here to see where you're at. Because again, every time the Sun meets Saturn, there is a reality check. Where are you at really? Where are you at? And with that, my loves, I am going to leave you. I hope this was insightful. If you have any question, please feel free to ask. Send me a message, comment below, contact me via email. Also, if you want a personal reading, feel free to click on the link in the description box and book your reading there. Anything else, I'm here for you. And with that, I love you and leave you. And I'll see you in the next video.